you seen my name badge? Where is my name badge? Abby!
What? What time is it?
I'm going to be so late for work. And towels are meant to be on the floor.
What? This is yours.
What is that doing there?
I put it there. You left it in the sink.
2 hours sleep, and now this.
Well, what were you doing all night?
I was listening to you snore.
Excuse me, I do not snore.
Oh, well, it must have been Minty in the next room with a chainsaw.
I'm sorry, but I don't snore.
How can you be so sure? Since you've never spent the night with anyone, how would you know?
Meaning what, exactly?
All this never been kissed rubbish.
That's the real reason why you're in the mood, isn't it? Me being here is cramping your style.
Cramping it? You are suffocating it.
Well, I'm happy with the way I am, thank you. And just because you've had more men than the Grand Old Duke of York doesn't mean I have to.
Are you calling me a tart?
I'm trying to get some sleep here.
And you're certain you haven't seen him since that day?
No. I mean, yeah, I'm certain.
Now, as you know, Mr. Noakes was on the run for quite some time after the incident at the hospital. He never contacted you, phoned, wrote, tried to get in touch?
No.
What about your mother? Do you think he may have contacted her to see the baby, his baby?
She wanted nothing more to do with him.
Yeah, I gather there've been quite a few violent incidents reported over the years.
Look, I don't know what this has got to do with anything. He was out of our lives. After we saw him at the hospital that day, we never saw him again.
That's right. So you said. No need to look so worried, Mr. Berry.
I'm not. It's just my wife. She's very sick.
Yeah, I was sorry to hear that.
So if you don't mind, I'd like to be with her.
Of course, yeah. Almost finished. This business at the hospital with your stepfather.
But this again. I've told you already, it was nothing.
Yeah, so you said, Mr. Berry. It's just that we have statements from several of the hospital staff describing it as an attempted abduction leading to a major affray. Now, that's hardly nothing, is it, Mr. Berry? Perhaps your mother might be able to shed some light on it when we speak to her.
Can I go now?
For the moment.
Sorry, I didn't realize you were conducting an interview.
Didn't you?
Have you got any idea how long this investigation's going to take? Having the police hanging around is hardly very good for business.
You can't hurry a murder investigation, Mr. Booth.
No, of course not. Well, if you need any help, don't hesitate to ask. I'm always here if you need me.
That is very reassuring.
Can't stop thinking about it though, can you?
Thinking about what?
Oh, that inheritance of yours, if you'd have accepted it. All your money worries could have been over by now.
I told you, Des, I'm not interested.
I could have been working extra minty money bags here to the Sutton millions.
Leave it.
Could have been the last carrot you ever peeled. Could have had a private chef preparing all of your meals.
Des, drop it.
Yeah, your own private chef and your own private yacht, moored off your own private Caribbean islands.
And you'll be getting your own private kick in the teeth if you don't shut your gob.
Hi, Des. Hi, Minty.
Hey, Abby. You're looking particularly gorgeous today.
All right, put your tongue back in your mouth and drooling all over the veg. How's the new room?
The room's fine. The roommate I can't stand.
Bina.
I know she's a friend of yours, but honestly, she was such a pain.
She's just jealous because you've turned into such a babe.
Oi, I've warned you.
Hey, where the hell have you been? I've been looking for you everywhere.
I'm not in the mood, okay?
Phil, I hear you've been talking to the cops.
They wanted to talk to me. I couldn't simply refuse them, could I?
So why didn't you come and find me? I need to know what's happening, Phil. You can't just go sneaking off without telling
Just
me.
get off my back, okay?
Well, what happened? What did they say? Or more to the point, what the hell did you say?
Just wanted to know the last time I saw Brian alive, that's all.
You didn't tell them it was at the stag do, did you?
Do you think I'm stupid?
What about the abduction?
No! This is all down to you. I wanted to go to the police after the abduction, but you told me not to. Now, they're going to find out, and I am going to be their #1 suspect.
Yeah, how are they going to find out?
I don't know. It's a matter of time before they question my mum. She might let something slip.
Hey, just calm down, all right? Look, I'm sorry, mate. There's no use us falling out, is there? The only way we're going to get through this is by sticking together, right?
Look, I don't want to go to prison any more than you do, but there is far too much at stake. My job, my wife, my whole family.
It's all right, Phil. Trust me. We're just going to have to look out for one another, all right? Come on.
Hiya.
What are you doing here?
Well, that's a nice welcome. I came to wish you luck.
Yeah, I'm gonna need it.
come on, you'll be fine. If I can deal with Jake, you can deal with Maria.
You haven't met her?
Is that a picture of her? Can I have a look?
Yeah. It's from about 17 years ago, before Paul was born. It's Glastonbury, the festival.
She's absolutely gorgeous. You don't look so bad yourself, apart from the red hair.
Yeah, well, we all make mistakes when we're young.
Looks really exciting. Jake would never take me to anything like this.
We had so much going for us, and then I screwed it all up. I just couldn't hack it, Tracy. You know, a house, a job, a family. Just wasn't me.
Well, you were young.
Yeah, I was 21. I certainly wasn't ready for all that.
Nobody's ever ready for all that.
Yeah, I just started drinking to escape it all. The more I drank, the worse I treated them. I don't know what to say to her.
It's a setback, that's all. It's Vic, another buyer has dropped out of the housing development. What? No, the police are still here. But as soon as they've gone, we can get stuck in again. I don't know, but I will keep you posted.
Hello, Kate.
Julie.
Is Phil about?
He's somewhere around here.
Oh, I'm sorry to just turn up like this. The police told me about Brian.
Must be a terrible shock for you.
Oh, to be honest, I just feel numb. I was sorry to hear about Nicola. Is there any news?
Not yet. We just have to wait and see. I must say, I don't know what I'd have done without Phil. He's been so supportive. And I'm ashamed to admit that it's taken Nicola's accident to make me realise how much he loves her. Now, are you planning on staying?
Oh, I don't want to impose.
No, you stay as long as you like. You can have Mark's old room. He's away for a while, and that's my son.
Well, if you're sure.
Yes.
Mum.
Oh, Phil.
Juliana, let's sort out the room.
It's okay. It's okay. Come on.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've just been bottling it up for so long.
How's Joe?
He's fine. When I heard from the police, I took him round to your Auntie Jean's and got the first train down. I needed to see you, Phil.
Hey, it's all right.
Oh, I've lived so long in fear of that man. I should be dancing in the street. But it's not like that. He was my husband, the father of my baby.
Yeah, but everything's going to be okay from now on. He can never hurt you again.
Oh, he did some terrible things, I know that. He made my life a living hell. But after all that, I wouldn't wish him dead and admit it. Nor would you. Police want to speak to me later.
Well, you can't. You're not ready to speak to them yet.
No, after everything that's happened, I just want to get it over and done with.
This place is like a meeting the Jeffrey Archer fan club.
Yeah. It's a bit on the quiet side for a lunchtime.
Quiet, I've seen livelier graveyards. And it's all your fault.
How'd you work that one out?
Well, you were the one that sacked Helen. She was a big draw. The workmen loved her.
They haven't been back because the site's been closed down, you big dope. It's got nothing to do with your precious Helen.
Hi.
Oh, it's only you.
Oh, thanks.
Take no notice, love. Our captain of industry has pressing business matters on the brain. So, how are you?
One more night sharing with Bina, and I'll be phoning the Samaritans.
Oh, that bad, is it?
I don't know why she's got it in for me. I've not done anything wrong.
You should have a word with Mrs. Russell, see if you can switch rooms. You'll be okay as long as you don't end up sharing with Minty.
I wondered if I could ask you a question. When you examined Brian's body, did you find anything on it? A little locket he stole from me when he took the baby. It was very precious to me.
No, I'm sorry. There were no personal effects at all. Just a couple more questions, Mrs. Nopes. How did your son get on with his stepfather?
Brian was a very hard man. He took it out on Phil. Took it out on both of us.
So there was no love lost between them?
Love never really came into it.
And the last time you and your son saw your husband was at the hospital just after your baby was born?
No, that's not right. We saw him again after that.
Really?
Oh, you know about the abduction?
The abduction? At the hospital?
No. No, he didn't manage it at the hospital. After that, we were staying at Rocky's. Rocky Weston's flat. Brian came and took the baby. Thank God, Phil and Sam managed to get him back. Perhaps you should check your files when you get back to the station.
Now you've identified the body, surely work can resume on the site. Every day the work is delayed there, it's costing me money.
You do realise this is a murder investigation, Mr. Booth?
Yes, I do.
Then maybe you'd be kind enough to let me investigate. As soon as we discover who's responsible for this crime, we'll be out of your hair. Now, have there been any unusual occurrences on the site?
There was an intruder a couple of weeks ago, but he got away before he could cause any damage.
Anyone recognise this intruder?
No, I'm afraid not.
And that's the only time you've had trespassers while the work's been going on?
Well, this is a bit awkward, actually.
Awkward or not, Mr. Booth. If it's relevant to the case, I want to hear it.
There was one night when well, I'm sure it was nothing, but I caught one of our members of staff there, Sam Delaney. He's our bar manager. He was creeping around in the dark.
And was this Sam Delaney alone when you caught him?
No. And this is the awkward bit. He was with my brother-in-law, Phil Berry.
All right, Eddie, can I get you anything?
No, I'm just waiting for someone, thanks.
The state of him is a nervous wreck. Just our luck he's our only customer. You all right, love?
Yeah, I've been thinking.
I warned you about that before.
Why don't we ask Abby to move in? I mean, now that tart Helen's slung her up, we've got an empty room.
Hey, she's fast asleep now. What? What is it, what?
My beloved's just come up with one of her better ideas.
How about moving in, love?
I couldn't afford the rent.
Oh, come on, we've been through all that. We wouldn't charge you a penny. You can help out by looking after Ollie and doing some housework. So how's it sound?
Brilliant. Thank you. Is that all right with you, Dave?
I don't mind you moving in. And since my angel's overflowing with the milk of human kindness, perhaps you'd extend her benevolence to offering Helen her job back.
You what?
Well, it isn't as if she'd be living here.
Well, no, but...
Oh, for pity's sake. You know how popular she was. You mentioned it yourself. And just think, with Helen behind the counter, we'd have more time for ourselves, if you catch my drift.
Yeah. Oh, all right, I suppose.
Smash it. Abby, when you see Helen, tell her she's back in business. And hopefully, so are we.
Okay, thank you, Dave. Thank you, Una. See you later, Eddie.
What? Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's okay, no problem.
Maria? You're looking great.
Thanks. So do you. Better than the last time.
Thanks for coming.
I didn't have much choice. My answer phone was about to go on strike.
Can I get you something to drink?
Just a coffee, please.
I'll have the same.
We've got some lovely specials on.
Not now, thanks, Una.
Well?
I can't believe you're actually here. I wouldn't have been surprised if you hadn't showed. Did you find the place okay?
Eddie, I'm very busy. You have 5 minutes to tell me what this is all about, and then I'm going.
This way, Mr. Berry.
Sorry to drag you in here again, Mr. Berry.
It's okay if there's anything else I can do to help.
Well, there is, actually. I've been chatting with your mother. Lovely lady. Very good memory. She's been telling me how you, apparently, rescued your baby brother after he was kidnapped by Mr. Noakes. I don't remember you telling me that last time we spoke.
He took Stuart. What was I supposed to do? He took my baby brother. Look, I got him back, didn't I? Afterwards, I just thought the police might not appreciate me acting on my own, so I didn't report it.
Yeah, but you weren't on your own, were you? You had Mr. Delaney to help you.
Yeah.
And are you in the habit of taking the law into your own hands?
No.
Glad to hear it.
Look, I'm sorry. I should have told you about it.
Just one more thing. What were you and Mr. Delaney doing the night that Mr. Booth caught you on the building site?
Oh, no, we were just having a laugh. We'd had a few to drink. You know how it is.
OK, that'll be all for the moment. Right. But we will be asking you to provide a DNA sample to match against the sample we found on the body. It's a standard procedure.
No! I've done nothing wrong. You treat me like a flaming suspect here.
You've nothing to hide, have you, Mr. Berry?
Bina, got some good news.
You've invested in an anti-snoring device.
Great. Even better, I'm moving out.
What, you've only just moved in?
Yeah, you try sharing with Bina the warrior princess.
Yeah, you try sharing with Abby the virgin queen.
Time out, ladies.
Minty, this just arrived for you. Special delivery by courier, no less.
Oh, heck is it?
Maybe when you said you didn't want to see your mum, she sent your inheritance anyway.
You reckon?
There's only one way to find out.
I don't know about this.
Oh, come on, Minty. If anyone deserves a windfall, it's you, mate.
Yeah, it's bound to be something valuable.
I suppose there's no harm in looking.
Come on, then. Want to see how many resources we can afford?
Is this some sort of joke?
Poor Minty. And he was just thinking he'd chopped his last onion.
Thanks, Mum. For nothing.
Bad luck, mate.
Sorry, Minty. Yep, better luck next time, Minty.
Oh, it's not that bad.
That's what I ought to have expected.
Wait a minute, what's this?
Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
What?
It's from my mum. I recognise the handwriting.
Minty?
I want to be part of Paul's life again. I've changed, Maria. Surely you can see that. I mean, I'm sober, I've got a job.
Yeah. And I'm really pleased you've turned your life around. But you're a bit late to be playing Daddy, aren't you? Where were you when he had whooping cough? Where were you when he was being bullied at school or when he got a place on the football team?
I want to make up for all that.
That's what I'm trying to explain to you. You can't. Look, Eddie, Paul's happy now. It took him a long time to forget all the hell you've put us through.
I know I was a bad father and a bad husband. I'm just asking for another chance. Please, Maria.
I'm not taking any more risk with him. We are happy as we are. I'm sorry.
It wasn't all bad, was it?
There were a couple of moments here and there that were just about possible.
I can remember a few moments that were possible.
Yeah? Like what? Glastonbury. I'd forgotten how much your hair color suited you.
It was the best time of my life. Lying on the grass, staring at the stars. I remember when you tried to make spaghetti.
Yeah, trust you to marry the only Italian who couldn't cook pasta.
You chucked the last of the wine over it to put the fire out.
And then we had another row, shouting at me for wasting all the wine. Even then, having a drink meant more to you than anything. I better go. I've got to pick up Paul.
I don't expect you to agree now, but just think about it.
Eddie, listen to me. I didn't come here with the intention of playing happy families.
Then why did you bother coming at all?
I came to tell you. I just wanted you to know that I'm taking Paul back to Italy.
You can't.
We're leaving in a few days to live with my parents.
Maria, no, please.
I really am sorry, Eddie.
So we were out clubbing, got a bit tanked up. We thought the girls would go spare if they saw us in that state, so we went for a walk just to clear our heads.
And that's when you were caught by Mr. Booth?
Yeah, it was a bit embarrassing.
And the abduction of baby Stuart. You were involved in helping Mr. Berry rescue his brother?
Yeah, oddly involved. I just thought I was giving a mate a lift. I mean, I didn't know where Phil was going or what he was going to do next.
Thank you, Mr. Delaney. You can go now. Oh, just one more thing. You don't have any objection to a DNA test, do you?
Absolutely not. The sooner I'm eliminated from your inquiries, the better. Phil. I've just been talking to the police. Why the hell did you open your gob about us being at the site?
Well, I didn't. It must have been Jake. What did you say?
I said we were off our heads. We've been clubbing, having a laugh. What about you?
Yeah, I said the same.
It's a lousy excuse, but it's all we've got.
Look, the police want me to give them a DNA sample. I refused.
Yeah? Well, I agreed.
This is crazy. Do you realise how dangerous this could be for me? They know about the trouble I've had with Brian, the beatings that he gave my mum, and the fights we've had. Pretty good motive to want to do something in, isn't it?
Just shut it, will you? Let me think.
I don't think I've got the ball to go through with this.
Oh, you better had, pal. You really better had.
What?
Eddie? Did things go badly with Maria?
Understatement of the year.
What happened?
I just completely misread the situation. I suppose I was expecting too much, you know, hoping that she'd forgive me so easily.
Well, is she going to let you see Paul?
No, she has it her way. She's taken him off to Italy. They're both going to live with their parents. Maria says it's for the best. The thing is, she's probably right.
Mr. Booth, will you please step back behind the tape?
Well, I had hoped you'd be finished by now.
Does it look like we're finished?
No.
Well, then, can you please stop trampling all over the crime scene and let us get on with our investigations?
Have you seen this? Police are still combing the area, confident of finding evidence that leads them to the killer.
Will you keep your voice down? What's the matter with you, Phil?
What do you think is the matter with me?
Look, just back off, all right?
Look, I've decided to go ahead with the DNA test.
Yeah? Well, that's up to you, isn't it?
I thought you might be interested.
Not particularly, no.
Well, I'm to this stick together at all times.
Look, maybe it's not so clever us being seen together the whole time.
Morning.
Any news?
Oh, the police are hopeless. I've just had to put a rocket under them. I told them I want my men back to work, and that was that.
Ordering the cops about. Very assertive.
They're only public servants. Anyway, I decided it was about time someone got this development back on track.
Yeah. When you said you could get us some press coverage, this is not exactly what I had in mind.
Hotel horror. Oh, that is brilliant.
I thought you said there was no such thing as bad publicity.
Yeah, well, obviously I was wrong.
Look, if you feel you can't handle this...
I didn't say I couldn't handle it. In fact, I've got another couple of ideas. Why don't we have lunch together? I'll draft a statement and put it to you then.
I've got an appointment.
Fine. I will deal with it.
Imagine what I could do if I was left something half decent. Instead, I'm left with this worthless piece of tat.
Oh, dear, look at you. You've got a face like a wet weekend.
Hold me back, Des, hold me back.
Not now, Virginia. He's in a state of shock over his inheritance.
Oh, inheritance?
The jug.
Oh, I say. That's very charming. May I? Oh, yes. Oh, this is lovely. It's a very nice piece.
You like it then?
Absolutely. You're a very lucky man.
Virginia, being that you seem to appreciate fine antiques, and you seem very taken with this particular item, how would you like to make us an offer?
No, I couldn't deprive poor Minty of a well-loved family heirloom.
No, I think it's fine, really. He's not sentimentally attached. Are you, mate?
No.
Are you sure? Well, all right, well, what about a fiver?
£5?
All right, Minty, you drive a hard bargain. 10?
All right, then.
Lovely. Hang on a second. There we are. Do you know something? This would look lovely on my Welsh dresser. Thank you.
What a stroke of luck.
I think you're losing it, mate. You could have had 20 quid then.
What? Did you see how hideous the thing was? I feel almost guilty accepting 10.
So you'll be giving Virginia her money back then?
Not that guilty.
No. Rummy.
I've just spoken to Maggie. She can't wait to meet you.
What?
My friend Maggie, her birthday party, remember?
What party?
Oh, I did tell you about it.
Look, I'm not really in a party kind of mood.
Yeah, well, you might be tomorrow.
Look, didn't you hear what I said? I'm not interested, all right?
Sorry.
Well, no. I'm the one who should be sorry. It's me. Come here. I'm not sleeping well. I'm just a bit wound up, that's all.
All the more reason for a good night out.
Yeah, you're right, as usual.
Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Delaney.
What do you want? I've already told you everything I know.
Not everything. Acting on some new information, we'd like to ask you a few more questions down at the station.
So, what's going on? What is he supposed to have done?
Look, there's nothing to worry about. It's okay.
No, I want to know what's happening.
Just a few little things need clearing up.
Look, it's all right. You go back to work and I'll see you later.
This way, please, Mrs. Delaney.
What's going on?
It's the police. They've taken him to the police station for questioning.
Oh, great. Now, on top of everything else, I have to find a replacement barman.
Hiya, Mum. Ah, now then, what do you think? Well, it's loud, tacky and tasteless. She'll fit right in at home. Just be careful with that. Where'd you get it?
Bought it from Minty.
You mean you paid money for that lump of junk?
It's a very interesting piece.
Hiya.
Virginia, could you pass a message on to Mrs. Russell? I'm not feeling too good. I can't work my shift today.
Oh, dear, that is very short notice.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry.
Eddie, what is it? What's wrong?
It's nothing, okay?
Someone must have got out of bed the wrong side this morning.
I don't think you should have got out of bed at all.
You mean Sam's been arrested?
No, they just want to have a word with him.
Why? There must be a reason.
Well, maybe it's got something to do with being at the site that night with Phil.
What was this?
A few weeks ago. Security called me out. Sam said they'd been clubbing. They got drunk and they were out to, walking to clear their heads. But, I have to say, Phil was acting very shiftily.
Well, it's probably a shame being caught out like that. Did you tell the police this?
I had to, Mum. This is a murder investigation.
Jake!
Oh, come on. You know that Phil isn't exactly a stranger to trouble.
That was a long time ago.
And everyone else knows how much he hated his stepdad.
It's hardly a criminal offence.
Yeah, but creeping about at night where the body was buried? Come on, that is very suspicious.
This is ridiculous. Keep your theories to yourself, Jake. Let the police do their work. There's enough to worry about without you stirring things up. Virginia.
Eddie? 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 I'm not moving till you speak to me. Right.
What are you doing?
Right. Now, are you going to tell me what's going on?
Forget it, Tracy. You're wasting your time.
Come on, this is not like you.
This is exactly like me. You're looking at a loser.
Look, hang on. When I hit rock bottom, you were the one that told me to snap out of it and get my act together.
See? A loser and a hypocrite.
Now you're feeling sorry for yourself.
Why not? I'm never going to see my son again, am I?
Well, carry on talking like that and no, you won't.
And mind your own business. I mean, who asked you to interfere anyway?
Well, nobody asked me, but nobody asked you to help me when I was a drunken mess, so why did you bother?
There was hope for you, Tracy. For you, for Scott's.
And there's hope for you and Paul. Now, what about you and Maria?
What? The only feelings Maria has for me right now are hate and more hate.
And what about your feelings for her?
I've already told you I don't have any feelings for Maria. Then just go, Tracy. Leave me alone.
I got a message you wanted to see me. Has something happened at the hospital fund?
No, nothing like that. I want to have a chat.
What about?
Why don't you sit down? I feel that since Nicola's accident, we've become a lot closer, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I guess so.
And I'd hope that if there's ever anything worrying you, you could come to me.
Yeah, thanks.
I know how upset you must be, what with Nicola in hospital, now Brian.
No, I'm only thinking about Nicola at the moment.
And now the police have identified the body. Well, that must have been a terrible shock.
Yeah, it was.
Phil, I know what your stepfather was like.
What do you mean?
This is difficult. Well, I know what he did to you and your mum. And it would only be natural if you wanted to protect your family.
Okay, what are you saying?
If you are ever in any kind of trouble and you need someone to talk to, I'm here.
It's just, I just don't quite know what's happening anymore.
Come on, I really want to help.
Thanks. I'll remember that. To go.
Now, as this investigation continues, what keeps jumping off the page are the names Sam Delaney and Phil Berry. Who was involved in the recapture of Mrs. Noakes's baby? Sam Delaney and Phil Berry. Who's caught lurking about at night on the building site where the body is buried? Sam Delaney and Phil Berry. You're right, little double act, aren't you?
We hang out together sometimes.
And didn't he lend you his van for your little contraband activities?
We're just mates.
You must be very good mates to take the law into your own hands and help him recover his baby brother.
I was just helping out a pal, that's all.
And how far would you go exactly to help out this pal?
I don't know what you mean.
Mr. Berry, your mate, had a long violent history with the deceased, didn't he?
Well, yeah.
Brian Noakes beat up his mother, abducted his baby brother. Phil must have hated his stepfather with a vengeance.
They didn't get on, that's true.
And now Mr. Noakes has been found murdered. Now, have you got any idea how he got his head bashed in and ended up buried on a building site?
No.
Well, luckily, our forensic team have been working their socks off. And they've made some very interesting discoveries on the corpse.
Oh, yeah?
You'd be amazed. You see, Mr. Noakes must have put up one hell of a fight. There's all sorts of clues there. Under his fingernails, we found skin and blood samples. And guess what? They match your DNA sample. Are you all right, Mr. Delaney? You like a glass of water? Or is there something else you'd like to tell us? Look, I'll make it easy for you, Sam. We don't think you did it. You've got no motive. Now, Phil Berry, that's another matter. You don't want to be seen to be hindering a police inquiry, do you?
No, of course not.
Or worse still, being an accessory to murder. Look, I want to help you, Sam. But it's not looking too good, is it? We can place you at a murder scene, and you've got this contraband charge hanging over you, too. Now, of course, if you were able to help us and tell us the truth about Mr. Noakes's death, and that's all I want you to tell is the truth, the contraband charge might not proceed. Now, I can't promise anything, of course. But if you play fair with us, we'll play fair with you.
Look, I haven't been exactly straight with you. There is something. I was there. I was there the night Phil murdered Brian Noakes. came near his family again, he'd kill him. I had no idea he'd actually go through with it.
So, tell us about the night of the murder.
There was a party. It was Phil's stag night. I wandered outside for a bit of air. Then I heard some shouting, so I went over to have a look. Phil was laying into his stepdad. Poor old guy was getting a right beating. Nicola was there, Nicola Berry, that's Phil's wife. I tried to break up the fight. Brian must have thought I was attacking him. He grabbed me, practically throttled me. I managed to break away. I was on the floor, winded. I looked up and I saw Phil smash his head on the ground.
So, you actually witnessed Phil Berry murder his stepfather?
Yeah. I couldn't stop him.
But afterwards, why didn't you report it to the police?
I wanted to. I begged Phil, I pleaded with him. But he just said I had to keep my mouth shut and help him bury the body.
Well, why did you agree to assist him?
For God's sake. I'd just seen him kill a man in cold blood. I was terrified. I thought if I didn't go along with it, I'd be next.
Home is sweet home.
Yeah, this is really nice. And it's handy if you want to nip downstairs for a bacon sarnie. So I put this here?
What do you think, Minty?
Look better in that corner.
Yep, you're right.
No, it's a lovely room, so just make sure you look after it, all right?
Yes, I will.
No rowdy behaviour. I'll be checking the paintwork for damage.
Relax, Una. It's not exactly Buckingham Palace, is it?
Hey, bit of respect for the landlady, if you don't mind. Hey, Des, while you're here, why don't you come and see your goddaughter?
Great. Unless I'm still needed.
No, it's fine. We can manage.
Okay.
Right, you're the expert. Where do you think I should put this?
I don't know. Anyway.
Minty, are you all right?
Why shouldn't I be? I'm up to my eyebrows in debt and I've got a court appearance coming up. Life's just one big happy party.
Look, you can tell me to shut up and mind my own business, but this isn't about money, is it?
What?
Well, Des told me you sold that jug.
So?
So? It's like you've got rid of a bit of your past.
No. It was a naff old china jug. It meant nothing to me. Just like when Mum got rid of me and took me in that home.
You don't mean that.
Oh, believe me, I do.
I know what it's like to be let down by your parents, Minty.
You know, Abby, you don't know the half.
Being part of a family is not the end to all your problems.
Yeah, well, at least you know what it feels like.
All right, that'd be great. So I'll see you tomorrow at the Knockout Cafe. Yeah. Bye.
Looking pleased with yourself? Secret lover?
No such luck. I was talking to Maria.
Maria? Eddie's Maria?
I'm meeting her tomorrow.
Why?
Well, to talk about Paul and Eddie, of course.
Oh, I don't know, that's a great idea.
What do you mean?
Well, I just don't think you should be interfering in their business.
I'm not interfering. I'm trying to help.
Well, let's just hope Eddie sees it like that. The way he's been acting lately, I mean, he's going to go crazy if he thinks you're sticking your nose in it.
Look, I'm a friend. Somebody's got to do something.
Well, let's just hope you haven't made things worse than they already were. Vodka and tonic, please.
Then Phil went through Brian's pockets, looking for any identification, I guess. He took something. I'm not sure what it was, a chain or a locket. I'm not sure, it was dark. Then we buried the body. I wish now I'd had the strength to say no.
So why didn't you tell me all this when we spoke before?
I'm sorry. I've got a record. It was a long time ago in Greece. I was involved in an assault. I did time and I'm not proud of it. I just thought if the police found out, they wouldn't believe a word I said.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay, we're gonna need a more detailed statement. After that, you can go. But we'll be checking out your story. And don't leave King's Oak in case you're needed for further questioning.
Will you be talking to Phil again?
Well, obviously, in the light of what you said, we'll have to interview Mr. Berry again.
Right. Well, I can't tell you what a relief it is to be finally telling the truth.
I was gutted when I found out my mum had tracked me down. I can never forgive her for dumping me in that place, but I hate myself for it. Is that crazy or what?
Vinty, if it's not too late, it's never too late. Look, I know you probably don't want to read this now, and when you read it, you probably want to bin it again. But read it, please. You never know.
Thanks. Abby, I don't know what to do. I want to read it, but I can't.
Maybe later, eh?
Hey, guys, you've got to come and see what Holly's... What the hell's going on?
It isn't what it looks, mate.
Oh, no, you just wait until my back's turned before you start trying it. Oh,
Hey, just what do you think you're playing at? You've gone and set her ladyship off now with all your shouting.
Una, it's all right.
No, it's not all right. You've only been here half hour and already there's a punch-up going on. Just hope you're not expecting to have a housewarming party.
Don't worry about it, Una. There's going to be no more trouble. I'm leaving.
Des!
I've got investors pulling out like rats deserting a sinking ship, and Vic won't even give me the time of day.
Sorry to hear that, Jake, but I've got more important things on my mind at the moment.
Every day that site is out of action, we are losing thousands.
And your sister is lying critically in a hospital. Can you put that on your list of priorities?
Oh, Mum, that is not fair. You know I would be there with you if I could.
Hang on.
Sorry to bother you, Mrs. Russell, but we need to search your apartment.
What? This is ridiculous.
We're following up on some recent information about your son-in-law. We do have a warrant.
I would prefer it if you were out there trying to track down the murderer rather than persecuting me and my family.
Mum, there's not much you can do about it if they've got a warrant.
We're only doing our job, Mrs. Russell. We all want to see this murderer behind bars, don't we?
And rifling through our personal belongings, that's going to do it, is it?
Possibly. We'll see.
OK, well, feel free. Let's get this fiasco over and done.
Any idea where your son-in-law is, Mrs. Russell?
He's at the hospital with his wife, which is where I should be. Now, what exactly is this about?
Oh, thank goodness. You've been gone hours. God, you look awful.
Yeah, well, I've had better days.
What did the police want? Why do they need to question you?
Oh, Joe, please, please, not now.
I'm worried sick. I just don't understand what's going on.
Hey, nothing's going on.
I'm not stupid. Please, what is it?
Okay,
What? What's happened, Sam?
I haven't been straight with you, Joe. About Brian's body.
Oh, for God's sake. What have you done?
I haven't done anything. I don't know how to tell you this. Joe, I've been really scared.
Phil.
What's going on?
They've insisted on searching the apartment.
Why?
They won't tell us why.
All I know is that the longer this investigation goes on, the longer it is before my men can get back to work.
You shut up about your Richard development.
Mr. Berry, do you recognise this? We found it in your room.
Yeah, of course it's mine. I don't understand.
And, what about that? Does that look familiar?
Yeah, it's my mum's, but I don't know why it's in there, honestly.
Mr. Berry, I'm arresting you on suspicion of murder.
You can't.
Noakes. You do not have
No,
to
I
say
don't know how
anything,
it
but
got
may
there.
harm your
This is
defence if you
ridiculous.
do not mention when
Just
questioned.
listen to me, I
something
don't...
you later rely
You've
on
made a
in court.
mistake.
Anything you do say may be used in evidence.
Listen to me, I don't understand. I've done nothing wrong.
So, Phil, I was wondering if we could talk a little more about your stepfather and your relationship with him.
What exactly do you want to know that I didn't tell you last night?
From what you've said already, it's clear you didn't like your stepfather.
Yeah, well, the feeling was mutual.
Well, it can't have been all bad, or your mother wouldn't have married him.
Well, you're going to have to ask her about that, aren't you? All I ever saw was the back of his hand.
Yeah, you've alleged he used to hit you when you lived together in Newcastle.
He did hit me, and Mum.
And you hit him.
Only to defend myself.
With a baseball bat, wasn't it? for the tape, please.
I was desperate. It was the first thing that came to hand.
And shortly after that, you moved south to King's Oak.
I rode down that night. Mum followed a few months later.
So, you moved down here and effectively you started a whole new life for yourself. Got yourself a good job at Crossroads, earned a few quid. You even married the manager's daughter.
Yeah.
You must have felt that your life was nearly as good as it could get.
Something like that.
And then Brian arrived.
Yeah.
Take it you weren't too pleased to see him.
You could say that.
Here's the man who made your life a misery. And he's back on the doorstep about to do it all again. Everything you've worked for, everyone you care about. What right had he got to barge back into your life?
He didn't have any right.
And yet here he is, abusing your mother again, threatening you, kidnapping your half-brother, wreaking havoc.
It was a complete nightmare.
A nightmare you couldn't wake up from.
He was always there, always up to something. I couldn't relax for fear of what he was going to do next.
He was a completely unwanted presence in your life.
He was a completely unwanted presence on the planet.
And that's why you killed him.
No, I didn't kill him.
Can I have some more celery, please? So you're still not talking to me, then? Des, you're being really ridiculous, you know?
Uh-huh.
What happened between me and Abby yesterday wasn't what you think.
So you've said.
I can't believe you're being like this, Des.
Right, I see. I've just caught my girlfriend and my best mate getting off with each other. Let's throw a party to celebrate.
I didn't get off with him. I hugged him.
Right.
Are you being completely paranoid? I like Minty, and probably for the same reasons that you do. But I don't fancy him, and I don't love him, and do you know why?
I'm sure you've got a brilliant
because
excuse
I love
lined up.
you.
Right. What?
What?
Did you say you loved me?
Might have.
I love you too.
Well, we're supposed to be working, so we'll discuss it later.
Yeah. Listen, we'll go for a drink tonight, yeah?
Yeah, I'd like that. Go talk to Minty and apologise for being such a prat. Anything else?
Maria. Hello, I'm Tracy.
Hi.
Hi. I recognised you from the picture that Eddie's got of you. Thank you very much for coming. Can I get you anything?
I'm okay, thanks.
Sure. Helen, could I have another coffee, please? Thanks.
I hope this isn't some kind of setup.
No, Eddie doesn't even know that I've called you, and he won't if you don't want me to. All I ask is that you just hear me out.
I can't stay long. I have someone waiting for me in the car.
Right. Eddie's a friend. He's probably the best friend I've ever had. He helped me out when I was at an all-time low. He probably saved my life, and I just like to return the compliment.
How do you plan to do that?
Well, he really misses his son, and I understand that. Because I've been there. I wasn't allowed to see my son for several weeks, and it nearly broke my heart. Eddie hasn't been allowed to see his son for 7 years.
There's a good reason for that.
I realise that, and I wouldn't dream of making light of it. But he's a changed man. He doesn't drink anymore. He's kind, he's generous, he's thoughtful, he's all those things.
So what are you? His girlfriend?
No, I'm just someone that understands what he's going through. Maria, I wouldn't dream of forcing you to do anything that you don't feel comfortable with. And I wouldn't for 1 second suggest that Eddie and Paul see each other. I thought in any way that it would hurt either of them.
I'm now showing Mr. Berry exhibit C01, a locket on a chain. Do you recognise this, Phil?
It's my mum's.
When I spoke to your mum, she said the last time that she saw it was when Brian took it from her.
He stole it from her when he took Stuart. That's the last time I saw it.
Apart from last evening when we found it during a search of your apartment.
Yes.
So, how do you account for it being found in one of your music cassette cases?
I'm telling you, the last time I saw that locket was before Brian took it from my mum.
So, you'd agree it had to come from Brian?
Yes.
Do you think Brian would have given it to anyone while he was alive?
I don't know, he might have tried to sell it, I suppose.
Or here's another suggestion. Maybe you found it on the building site when you were poking around there the other night.
No.
Well, that leaves only one other option. and that is that it must have been taken from Brian's body after his death.
My client
Not by me, I wasn't there.
I spoke to Mr. Delaney on this matter yesterday. Unfortunately, his version of events differs rather significantly to yours.
What?
In fact, he said, and I quote, Phil combed the body for identification and took something from his pocket.
Now, hang on a minute. What, are you saying Sam accused me of being there when Brian died?
You know, maybe we should go through Mr. Delaney's statement, step by step.
I wasn't exactly suggesting we pin up a notice in the staff room, but the news is bound to leak out sooner or later. Well, people are going to wonder why he's not at work for a start.
It's just not what Phil needs at the moment. It's bad enough being arrested without people gossiping about
You know
it.
what this place is like? Once Virginia gets hold of it, it'll be around here in no time. What have you heard from him?
No, he's still there. I will try and ring the police station as soon as I get a chance. In the meantime, let's just keep this as quiet as we can. I'll be at the hospital if you need me, OK?
Who's it you want me to meet?
Just trust me, all right?
Why don't you just tell me who it is instead of acting all mysterious? Maria. I thought you were going to Italy.
I am, but not for another couple of days.
So, you've come to say goodbye.
Not just me.
Paul.
Hello, Dad.
Good book, Mum.
Oh, you know that jug I bought off Minty?
Yeah, old junk.
Well, I knew I'd seen it somewhere before. Look.
German slipware bolster jug, 17th century, estimated back. No way.
Yes. Well, what am I going to do?
Well, insure it first of all, then after that.
No, I don't mean that. I mean, it isn't really fair, is it?
What's not fair?
Well, I mean, Minty would have never sold it if he'd have thought it was worth that money.
Yeah, well, that's his bad luck, isn't it?
Do you think I should give it him back?
Yeah, if he gives you £3 for it. As far as I'm concerned, it's a Raven family heirloom.
Is Mrs. Russell about?
No. She's gone to visit Nicola in hospital. Was it urgent?
Kind of. I was just wondering if I could swap this afternoon shift. I don't think I can work with Des.
Well, there's nothing I can do, I'm afraid.
I've been looking for you everywhere.
Why? So you can give me another hard time?
No, to apologise, actually. Look, I'm sorry by the way I've been, but I saw you and Abby together yesterday and I...
Yeah, Mr. Casanova, that's me.
Thanks, but Abby's told me how much of an idiot I am.
Good.
She's also told me something else, Minty. She's told me how much she loves me.
Congratulations, man. Nice one, I'm well chuffed.
You're a good friend, buddy. Probably too good for someone like me.
You'll miss your friends when you're in Milan.
I'm still going to keep in touch with them, Dad. We've all got email.
Emails, of course.
Duh.
Is Jessica one of the friends you'll be emailing?
Jessica? I don't know. Maybe.
Who's Jessica?
No one.
She comes to watch him play football.
No, she doesn't.
You're older than I thought.
She's just got a crush on me, that's all. I don't fancy her.
It won't be long before girls are more important than football.
No way.
You say that now, Paul, but you know.
No, I've already checked out my new school's website. Their football team wins everything. And 2 kids who play for them even got signed up by AC Milan.
So you might end up playing in Serie A.
And then I'll transfer back to England for millions of pounds and play in the Premiership.
Hey, don't look at me. He's the one who's got it all worked out.
I'm so glad you both came. Thanks, Maria.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
But it's really time that we were going.
But you've only been here a little while. We've only just got started.
I'm sorry, Eddie, but we've got a lot of things to do. Come on, Paul.
Mom, don't argue with your mother. She always knows what's best.
Well, goodbye, Eddie.
Yeah. Bye, Maria. Good luck in Italy. Take care.
You too.
And Paul, nice meeting you.
Bye, Dad. I keep telling you, none of that is true.
Well, Mr. Delaney seemed fairly certain about the sequence of events.
It didn't happen like that.
So you're admitting you were present when your stepfather died?
Yes, I am.
I need to confer with my client.
No. Okay, listen. I didn't start the fight. Brian attacked Nicola. I thought he was going to kill her. I thought he was going to kill me, too.
Did you hit your stepfather, Phil?
No. I found him struggling with Nicola. I pushed him off and he must have fallen and hit his head against a tree or something.
Just once?
Yes.
Are you sure he couldn't have hit his head a second time?
No.
Well, that's very interesting. Because our forensic report states that Mr. Noakes received 2 blows to the head.
What?
You've already said it was dark. You were frightened and confused. Isn't it possible you don't remember exactly what happened?
I remember that he hit his head once. I'm sure of that.
Well, either you're wrong, Phil, or the forensic evidence is wrong.
I'm telling you the truth.
And maybe your friend Mr. Delaney is wrong as well.
What else has Sam said?
That he saw you kill your stepfather in cold blood. So, you're saying that your friend, Mr. Delaney, is lying, even though his account of events is confirmed by the forensic evidence?
What I am saying is that Sam has probably got more experience of lying to the police than I have.
I am aware of Mr. Delaney's somewhat checkered past.
Yeah, the stuff he's admitted, but what about the stuff he hasn't? What about the fight with Ray?
Who's Ray?
You see, he didn't tell you about that. Ray Dobbs, he's a barman at the hotel. They had a fight. Ray came out a lot worse. He was almost in hospital.
Was this incident ever reported?
No, not to the police, but everybody knew about it. What about Nicola? I'm sure she didn't fall down the stairs of her own accord.
Yeah, well, let's hope she recovers soon and she can tell us what happened. In the meantime, this Ray Dobbs, where can I find him?
He's gone back to Australia. I don't have an address.
How very inconvenient.
Yeah, for both of us.
Oh, let's face it, Phil. All you're trying to do here is shift the blame onto somebody else. You had the means, the motive, and the opportunity to kill your stepfather.
No!
You and you alone.
Look, I have told you what happened, or at least what I can remember of what happened. I can't say it anymore. Look, if you don't believe me, then that is your problem. I can't answer any more of your questions. Now, you either lock me up back in that cell and charge me, or you let me go.
I think my client has a point, Inspector Manville. Mr. Berry has been more than cooperative. He's answered all the questions that you've asked him. I suggest you charge him or let him go.
It's like being given a pot of gold, you know, and when you reach out to touch it, it vanishes.
How do you mean?
Seeing them, especially seeing Paul, made me realize how much I've screwed up my life. I mean, what's left for me now? Nothing. If I thought my life was empty before Tracy, it's nothing compared to how empty it feels now.
Dad?
What's the matter, Paul? You forgotten something?
It's my fault, Eddie. I thought by coming here I'd close the door on the past. Instead, all I've done is open another one.
It'll be fine, I'll get over it.
Maybe I was a bit hard on you.
Only what I deserve, Mary.
Tell him, Mum.
Paul wants you to keep in touch with him.
Of course I will. As soon as I get an email address.
No, not like that, Dad. I want you to come to Italy with us.
Well, maybe when you're settled.
No, right now, this week.
I have a job here, Paul, friends. I can't just drop everything and leave.
Why not?
Because...
You wouldn't be living with us, Eddie, but if you wanted to live near us, I wouldn't object.
Are you sure?
No, I'm not, Eddie, but Paul is, and he's entitled to see his father if that's what he wants.
Please come with us, Dad.
So, what present have you got for Maggie?
Oh, just some perfume. Do you want to sign the card?
Yeah, OK.
Look, Mum, I've already told you. I've been released on police bail without charge.
I know that, Phil, but they don't just go around arresting people for no reason.
I didn't give them any reasons. He did.
Phil?
Do you think you're playing out telling the police a load of lies?
Mate, I'd calm down if I was you.
Don't you call me mate. Because of you, I've just spent the last day being questioned by the police. See, they might not know you're a liar, but I do, and I'm going to prove it.
Hey, all I did was tell them the truth, Phil.
Yeah? Yeah?
Phil, leave it!
You want to listen to Mrs. Russell? Attacking me isn't going to do your reputation any good.
He's right, you just calm down, take your mother to the apartment, and you, shouldn't you be working?
He swapped shifts.
Do you see what I mean?
Come on.
Yeah, okay. Now, if there's a one-way flight to Milan from Birmingham, that'd be easier. Otherwise, I'll have to travel down to London. Yeah, one-way flight, please. Uh-huh.
What are you doing?
Uh-huh. That's great, thanks. Yeah. No, I'm not looking to book now. I'm just checking out details. Cheers.
Why are you inquiring about a one-way ticket to Italy?
Helen, sit down.
Not until you tell me what's going on.
Maria and Paul came to see me.
So, what, you had another argument with them and now you're running away?
No, we didn't argue. I suppose you could say I'm running away with them.
What?
I'm sorry, Helen.
You're sorry, that's it, is it? You're just going to walk away from me? I thought we had something good going on here.
We do, Helen. Well, we did. I don't know what else I can say.
See you then.
No, listen, please. It's to see Paul after all these years, and Maria, it means a lot to me.
Whatever.
We had a lot of fun together, Helen. I'm being given the second chance to make something of my life. I have to take it.
I'm sorry to have to ask you this, but I just want to hear you say it. Did you kill Brian?
Honestly, Mum, I don't know.
What do you mean, you don't know?
It was the night of the stag do. Brian turned up. He attacked Nicola. I had to protect her. There was a struggle or a fight or whatever you want to call it. Sam was there too. It was dark and it was confusing. I don't know who hit who, but I think I hit Brian. And I'm starting to think Sam did. Somewhere in the middle of it, he just fell back. He must have hit his head or something. He was dead. He was lying there and he was dead.
You know what was the last thing you said to me before I left King's Oakville? You said, I'd never have to fear Brian again. What did that mean, I asked myself? Never have to fear Brian again. I've laid awake at nights hearing those words over and over and always in that same cold tone of voice. You'll never have to fear Brian again. Well, now I know, don't I? Now I know exactly what you meant.
Mum.
I despise Brian, Phil, probably more than you. But I tell you one thing, I never wished him dead. And in killing him, you've only proved that you're no better than he ever was.
Oh, Mum, please.
I'm sorry, Phil. I can't deal with this.
Mum!
I hope you're happy with yourself. What? I told you not to interfere.
So he's told you then?
Oh, yeah, that's one way of putting it. He's dumped me, Tracy. He dumped me without a second thought. And he's just going to be off as soon as he can get on the plane. What's up?
I don't know.
Hello? Come on, it's me who's been dumped.
Didn't think you'd just leave.
But, you know, you're taking this worse than me.
I can't help it.
You really do think of him as more than just a friend, don't you?
I don't know what I think.
A lot more. Bill?
Phil, are you all right?
Not really.
Where's your mum? I thought
She's gone.
Do you want to talk about it?
You probably don't want to hear.
Try me.
All right. I'm going to tell you the truth about what happened the night Brian died. Or maybe it's just my version of the truth.
Why don't you leave that for me to decide?
You know, if I realised how much you liked him, I'd have stepped aside for you.
Well, I didn't realise it until just now.
Well, the truth is, you're probably going to miss him a lot more than me. It's not the first time I've been dumped. Probably won't be the last time either, eh? I can't believe it's me that's trying to cheer you up.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, it's just my pride that's been dented. No long-term damage. It's not as if I've been dumped for another woman.
So he's not going back with Maria?
No, he just wants to spend more time with Paul. I can't blame him for that. No, I know how it feels to be separated from a child.
Yeah, well, we both do. You know, Eddie's right. If you get a second chance, you've just got to grab it. And I didn't realise that until now. Now that Eddie's leaving Crossroads. Helen, I think I'm in love with him.
It's starting to look that way, isn't it?
I don't want him to go, but if I ask him to stay...
You might lose Paul again this time for good.
I can't take that responsibility.
Look, Trace, you're going to have to tell him the truth. You know what I mean? About the way you feel.
I can't.
You can. Otherwise, you're going to regret it for the rest of your life.
I swear, there was nothing premeditated about it. It just happened.
It's all right, Phil. I believe you.
Well, no one else does. Not the police, not my mum. All I wanted to do was protect Nicola.
You listen to me. You are a good person. That's why I let you marry Nicola. You stood by her and I will stand by you.
Yeah, I'm so scared. I'm not a murderer. I didn't want anyone to die.
I know.
Eddie? Eddie, are you there? It's me.
I think you've missed him, Trace.
What?
Well, I just saw him heading towards reception a couple of minutes ago. He had his bags with him.
Nick, I've been thinking, when you're feeling better, we could look into buying a place, maybe. I mean, the business is doing well, and we've got enough money. We've always wanted a house of our own. You could do it up the way you want it. We're gonna have our own house. And kids. You're gonna have everything you've ever wanted. I promise.
She knows. She's off the ventilator now, so everything is going to be okay.
We only wanted to be happy. I don't understand, Kurt. Why did he have to do this to her? She's lying here, and he's still working at Crossroads. His life carries on as if none of this had happened.
We've got no evidence. There's nothing we can do.
Could you give me this, please? So.
Eddie. I thought I missed you.
I wasn't going to run off without saying goodbye. I just wanted to type things up with Mrs. Russell first.
So, have you spoken to her?
She's at the hospital, so I've left a letter for her.
It'll be fine. Don't worry. Come and have a cup of coffee with me.
I really don't have much time.
Please, I really need to talk to you before you go, Eddie.
Trev, could you look after my bags, please, mate? So, come on.
Listen, tonight, how about we go bowling? We can go to that new place. You know, Wally's just opened up with a bar and restaurant. We go for something to eat and then go for a quick bowling sesh.
No, I don't really fancy that.
OK, then. Well, we can go bowling and then go for something to eat afterwards. As long as me thrashing you doesn't ruin your appetite.
No, I don't really like bowling.
OK, well, how about we go to the pictures? Get one of those big armchair seats, big bucket of popcorn.
Not really in the mood, Des.
Oh, OK, where do you want to go, then?
I don't really want to go anywhere, sorry.
Abby? You all right?
No, Abby's just blown me out. She's usually dead keen to go out.
Can't say I'm not surprised. It's market forces, mate. We're the jungle.
What?
Before Abby had a makeover, you were all she could afford. But now, she's got the whole menu to choose from and you don't look so tasty.
Why do I listen to you?
Ah, this came for you this morning. It's recorded delivery. I signed for it.
Look, mate, I've seen it many, many times. Ugly duckling turns into a swan, you get sold down the river, blah, blah, blah.
Now, me and Abby are different. Besides, Abby was never an ugly duckling. What is it? According to our records, you have failed to make the statutory minimum payment since November 2001. Our records indicate that your account is in arrears by 1,146 quid.
And 37 pence.
Your failure to respond to various payment requests means if the outstanding amount is not cleared within 28 days, we will be forced to take legal proceedings against you to recover the debt. Minty!
I won't be able to earn the 37 pence in 28 days. I'm too irresponsible. I should never have got a credit card. That's what I'll do. I'll plead insanity.
Listen, calm down. Panicking going to do you no good, OK? 4 weeks is a long time. We get
to do what exactly? Flog a kidney? Of course we're going to get 1,100 quid.
Cheer up. Italy's not that far away. And when I'm settled, you and Scott might be able to come over for a holiday. I'm sure he and Paul have already hit it off. What's wrong?
All this stuff with Nicola, it's really made me think.
About what?
Well, there aren't any guarantees in life. You've really got to make the most of the present.
I know. I feel really lucky to get the second chance, and I'm really not going to make a mess of it this time. I'm going to make sure Paul knows how much I love him. Make a difference to his life.
You've really made a difference to my life. Given me a reason to get out of bed in the morning.
You've helped me every bit as much. I mean, it's because of you that I'm going to Italy in the first place.
Maybe we're good together.
I suppose we are.
Eddie?
Hang on a second. It's a text from Paul. Can't wait to see your dad. Love, Paul. Can't wait to see him either. Sorry, Tracy, you were going to say something.
Nothing. It's nothing, Eddie.
The police are outside. They want me to go back to the station.
And did they say what they wanted you for?
Further questioning. My wife is in intensive care and I want to go round and round the houses again. I need to be here.
I know. Look, I'll go and talk to them.
What? She moved. What? Her eyelids flickered, I'm sure of it.
Dr. Smith! Dr. Smith!
Come on. Come on, we're all here for you, Nick. Come on.
She blinked just now.
Nicola? Nicola, can you hear me?
I'm sure her eyelids flickered. Wake up, Nick. Come on. Wake up, please. See? I told you.
Nicola.
Kid, I can't leave her now.
I don't think you've got a choice. Come on, Phil. You can come back later. Everything's going to be okay now.
Mr. Berry.
Write to me as soon as you've got a permanent address, okay?
I'll email you if Paul has anything to do with it.
Right, you better go. Italy's waiting.
Yeah.
I'm handing Mr. Berry and his solicitor a copy of his previous statement.
Don't need to read it. I know what I said.
Now, I want you to be absolutely certain, Phil. Is there anything you want to add to that? Anything you might want to change?
No. I told you what happened.
You stand by everything you've said previously?
Yes!
Mr. Berry, you claimed that you found Brian Noakes on the night before your wedding struggling outside the Crossroads Hotel with your wife. Now, fearing for her safety, you intervened and pushed Mr. Noakes aside. The deceased then fell back and hit his head, an injury which caused his accidental death.
That's right.
Now, the problem is, my forensic team have identified fibre and blood samples on the body of the deceased which match the DNA sample you were kind enough to volunteer.
So?
Mr. Berry's not denied that he had contact with Mr. Noakes on the night of his death.
We believe we have evidence suggesting that Mr. Berry's contact with Mr. Noakes was not limited to the push he described in his statement. In addition, it has been proven that Brian Noakes suffered 2 blows to the head in the incident he described. In fact, it's become quite clear to me you had something of a violent struggle with your stepfather in the moments leading up to his death. Now, have you anything to add in the light of this new information?
You don't have to say anything, Phil.
Philip Berry, you are charged that on the 17th of
No,
June
you can't do this. No,
2002,
you don't understand. I
murdered
didn't do
Brian
it.
Noakes, contrary
Please,
to
please.
common law.
Nicola, sweetheart, it's me. Can you hear me? Come on, darling. Come on, try and say something. Come on. Come on. Yes, that's it. Look, Phil is in trouble and we've got to try and help him.
Mrs. Russell, there's been a telephone call for you. The receptionist has the details.
Sorry, can I get it later, please?
I think it was from your son-in-law's solicitor.
Right.
I'm going to start doing some tests that will help me to assess the extent of any possible cerebral damage. We'll have a better idea of Nicola's condition later today. In the meantime, why don't you try and get some rest?
I'm fine. Actually, you know, I will go and find out what the solicitor wants.
Nicola, I'm Dr. Smith. I want you to try and blink if you understand me. Now, can you try and squeeze my hand?
Well, well, well.
Don't get too excited, it's only water.
Pity. Thought you might be drowning your sorrows.
Oh, and which particular sorrow would that be? You've given me so many to choose from.
Not guilty this time. I was talking about your little playmate, Eddie, staggering off into the sunset.
Oh, mock him if you like. He's twice the man you'll ever be.
Well, he's a lot more perceptive, I'll give him that. Took me years to get away from you. I think Italy's a bit excessive, mind.
Oh, hi.
You all right?
Yeah.
Listen, you thought any more about tonight?
Yeah, I think I'm just having a night in, actually.
Oh, night in.
Yeah, I honestly don't fancy it. I'm really shattered.
You sure that's the only reason? I see. Like that, is it?
No, I want you to come round and watch telly or something.
No, I'm all right. I wouldn't want to keep you up.
Des, I do hope I wasn't the bearer of bad tidings this morning. I noticed Minty's letter was from a credit card company.
Are you all up for gossip or something, Virginia?
No, I'm just a little bit worried about him.
All right, since when? Listen, Minty's problems are his business and nobody else's, all right?
Mom, what's the latest?
Nicola's come out of her coma.
Well, that's good. So what's the problem?
I've just had a call from Phil's solicitor. He's been charged with murder.
Oh, come on, you can hardly pretend to be surprised.
I know he's innocent.
No, you believe he's innocent. That is not the same thing.
Jake, he is not a murderer. And I wish you realised that instead of putting a noose around his neck.
Now, I told the police what I saw. It's up to them what conclusions they draw.
You share those conclusions, do you? Come on, Jake, wake up. Phil has been framed. Sam told the police lies to take the heat off himself. I think he was responsible for Nicola's accident.
What?
He realised that her testimony would make all the difference if he was caught. Now, you can believe what you want, Jake. But I'm not going to let that young man destroy this family. Now, I've got to get to the police station. Phil's solicitor asked me to take some things down.
Come, I'll go with you.
Thank you.
Come on, ladies and gents. This is your once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to own an authentic piece of Minty Sutton memorabilia. That record could be yours for £5 English.
Glad to see he's taking steps, Minty.
Steps?
Raising the money to pay back that 600 quid.
Oh, yeah. That hat'd really suit you, you know.
Nah, I don't play baseball. I have got a bat, mind you.
What's brought all this on?
Just a bit of life laundry, you know, Virginia.
I thought you said your music collection was very precious to you.
Yeah, well, music moves on. It's about time that I did. Get rid of some of this old vinyl and make way for more cutting-edge CDs. You know, this hat'd really suit you, Virginia. Give you a bit more street. Work wonders for William Hague.
No, thanks. How's business?
It's early days yet. I mean, I've had a lot of interest, but nothing that you'd call material.
So you haven't sold anything?
No.
Good, because I want to take your CDs and your records off your hands.
Which ones? Because, I mean, I doubt there's any...
No, I want to take all of them. So, what do you think? £1,000?
£1,000? Mm-hmm. But that's £1,000, Virginia. That's 10 big ones, 4 figures. I mean, there's no Monteverni or Liberace in there, but it's mainly old school hip-hop.
Oh, maybe I need a little bit of, what did you call it? Street? Now, do I make this check out to you personally?
Oh, I get you. You've been talking to Des, haven't you? You think I'm some sort of charity case?
No,
Virginia, you offer me £1,000 for a bunch of records and CDs that you're never even going to play. And you gave me a tenner for that worthless piece of tat the other day. It all makes sense now. Look, you're trying to buy your way into heaven, but why don't you just go to Oxfam or something? Because I don't want your sympathy. Thank you very much.
Oh, great. This is just what we need.
Look, I just wanted to know how Nicola was doing.
You've got a nerve.
I'm sorry?
Well, aren't you going to ask how Phil is, too?
No, I just wanted to show my concern, that's all. I didn't mean to upset you.
Upset her? Now, that must be the understatement of the century. My sister is in intensive care because of you.
Look, just back off, will you? I know you've had a lot on your mind, but you don't know what you're saying. I wouldn't hurt Nicola. And if I hadn't been there, she'd be in a far worse state than she is now.
Really? Well, we'll soon find out the truth. She's come out of her coma. She's getting better. Now, I wonder what she's going to have to say. What are you afraid of, Sam?
Nothing. Let's just hope she tells the truth, shall we? Because we all know she doesn't have a great track record where that's concerned, don't we?
You get out of here before I throw you out.
Oh, I'd like to see you try.
Really?
Stop it!
Get out. You're sacked.
No chance.
There's no need for this. Sam, I think your shift is starting.
You know, I don't believe you. You've just given me a long speech about how Sam is destroying our life, and when I try to do something about it, you stop me.
I appreciate what you're doing.
Do you?
What do you think is going to happen if we sack him?
He'll disappear, I hope.
Exactly. We give him the perfect excuse to leave the area. I want him here when the truth comes out. Right, let's go.
Tell you what, mate, why don't me and you have a party? You can invite a couple hundred of your mates. That'd do me. Look, if there's a crack in it or anything, it's sold as seen, love.
Oh, well, I might just hold you to that. Do you know how much this is worth?
What?
Well, it's a 17th century slipware jug. Now, in auction, it would bring anything up to £4,000.
I don't believe it.
Mm-hmm.
You mean I had the solution to my problems in my hands all this time and I let it go for a tenner? I don't think I can get any lower.
Well, I wouldn't throw yourself off the top of the hotel yet. Take it. Yes. Minty, it is your inheritance, and I didn't know how much it was worth when I bought it. I just can't go through with it.
I don't know what to say. Thanks. Thanks a million.
No. We've had enough spontaneous affection for today, Minty, I think.
No. People have got you all wrong. If there's anything you ever want from me.
Well, just take good care of that. And there is a matter of £10 that you owe me. Thank you.
sorry to have kept you, Mrs. Russell. As you can imagine, I am rather busy.
Sorry, yes, I've just bought my son-in-law a few things, clothes, toiletries.
Not exactly my department. But if you speak to the duty sergeant, I'm sure he'll make sure Mr. Berry gets them. Now, there's nothing else.
No, wait, please, I do need to speak to him.
I'm afraid that's not possible at the moment.
I only want a few words.
We're having a few words with him right now. Look, if you come back tomorrow, we'll see what we can do. Now, if you'll excuse me.
You're having a night in tonight.
Girl can change her mind, can't she?
Yeah, I'm beginning to realise that.
What's that supposed to mean?
Don't play games with me, Abby. I thought you were different than that. I thought we could be honest with each other.
Okay, I've not been completely honest with you. I want you to know that...
Listen, you don't have to explain. It's like Minty says. Now that you look the way you look, you're bound to want someone else.
Well, Minty's talking through his backside.
Yeah, what's new?
I don't want anybody else. I've already told you I love you.
So how come you don't want to go out with me anymore?
It's not that I don't want to be with you, it's just the going out.
Oh, I see. So what you're trying to say is you don't want to be seen in public with me, is that
No! Oh. Every time we go out, it costs money. It's really expensive and I can't afford it, Des.
Well, that's all right. I generally pay for everything anyway.
Exactly. That makes me feel terrible. I like to pay my own way. I don't like scrounging off you all the time.
But it's not scrounging. If I wasn't happy to do it, then I wouldn't do it.
Well, I'm unhappy. It makes me feel uncomfortable. The only thing I want you to spend on me is time. Can you not see that?
Is there anything good on the box tonight? I'm sorry.
All right for some. If only they knew, eh? You all right?
Yeah, I didn't take your advice, I'm afraid. I couldn't do it in the end. He's better off not knowing how I feel.
You're brave, Trace.
Anyway, what about you? He was your boyfriend.
Oh, no, I'm all right. Nothing that a girly film and a couple of hours of comfort eating won't solve. You interested?
Sounds good.
You know the worst thing?
What?
I have to live permanently with my mother. Give me strength.
Well, it's still too early to make a definitive diagnosis. Nicola's made enormous strides in the last 24 hours. She's regained consciousness, as much as we could have hoped for at this juncture. But she could still be brain damaged. The degree of injury can vary enormously and isn't always permanent. She's beginning to respond to commands and is regaining mobility in her arms and hands, which is a positive sign.
How badly is she?
As I said, it's early days. However, it is clear that Nicola has no idea how she got here or how the accident happened. I'm sorry.
And don't forget, there'll be plenty more soap action this afternoon here on ITV2 with omnibus editions of Emmerdale and Coronation Street kicking off at 3:15. After the break, it's the planet's funniest animals.